Good afternoon. I am up here at Alta Ski Resort doing a quick backcountry tour up towards Point Supreme. Today I'm shooting with the Insta360 1X2, which is their newest camera. I've used it a couple times now and I'm just so impressed. Specifically, what I'm going to be looking at today is this backpack waist belt that you can attach the invisible selfie stick to, and it looks like you're just being followed by a drone. So the point of today's video is really to talk about the waist belt and to give a bit of a tutorial on how best to use it so that it works to your advantage. We'll look at a couple different angles. I'll talk about fitting, especially using it with a backpack, because that can be awkward. And so we'll kind of go through some of those points, but I'm excited to have you with me today, and hopefully we'll find some good snow on the way down. I'm excited to talk about this new setup. Here we go. I want to cover 4 pretty easy tips in this tutorial that'll help you with this backpack belt. So tip number 1 is that you'll see as I hike uphill, I don't have it attached to the backpack belt. I have the belt on in reverse. What you find is that if you try and attach it to the front of the belt and hike with it, you end up getting significant bounce from the camera, and even with the amazing stabilization of the Insta360 cameras, it just doesn't compensate for like that big of wavering. And so you're just better off to hold it in your hand and hike up, and you get a much steadier shot. The other thing that I've noticed is you can certainly wear the belt backwards or forwards when you're hiking. I tend to wear it forwards because what I'll do is, when I'm not using the camera, is there's this cinch strap right here, and I just collapse the invisible selfie stick and shove it right down in there, and then I'm hands-free as I'm walking uphill. So it's a pretty easy setup to move and carry around. Even if you're not filming on a downhill line, it's cinched in there pretty tight. It's not going to come out, and you don't have to worry about losing your camera skiing down. I've done that a couple times now. So that's kind of tip number 1 for you. All right, I made it to Point Supreme. I've transitioned into downhill mode, and I want to cover the final points that'll really help you with the backpack. I've saved these until I was on top because I recognize that the vast majority of you who will use this will use it in a kind of a downhill only scenario, whether at a resort or heli skiing or something like that. So the first thing that's important to note is that the invisible selfie stick is 48 inches long, and when it's attached to the backpack, you can't reach it. So make sure that you have your voice controls on, and you can control any of your Insta360 cameras using your voice instead of having to reach the button, because it won't happen. The next thing is your backpack. It has a way of getting in the way, especially if it sits a little bit lower. So what I would really recommend doing is tightening down those shoulder straps extra far, and that'll raise the backpack higher on your back, which will allow the mount to sit below the bottom of the backpack. It'll look better, it'll give you a better shot, and it's a bit more comfortable. The other thing is the angle that you want to have the camera attached to the backpack. If it's behind you, you want it angled higher so that it catches more of the skier from behind going downhill. If it's in front of you, you want it sitting a little bit flatter so that you get more of the mountain aspect behind you. So The angle is easy to switch. You can just unscrew it, tighten it up. It won't come loose while you're skiing, and you'll get better shots that way. I'll try and demonstrate a couple of those as I ski down. So I'm gonna get all set up and we'll get this thing going, and I'm gonna head right down this ridge here. That was sick! That was so good! I was psyched on that. Okay. That's the first cliff I've dropped in quite a while. That was fun. All right, so there you have it. If you make the purchase on the backpack, it is great for skiing. I'd highly recommend it. Probably be great for other sports, motorcycling, even mountain biking, a number of different things, but for skiing, it's absolutely fantastic. Hope you found this tutorial helpful. Come back for more. We've got a lot of great content here on trail and ultra running, and we'll see what trouble we can get into next time.